A group of hoodie-wearing men cased and eventually invaded a food truck in Memphis on Monday because they figured the men inside were in the country illegally. What they didn't see was the security camera recording them the whole time. Sorry, there's no sound on the security video, so y'all gotta put up with a little bit of music instead. But the company that owns the food truck put out a statement after the arrests that took place. Earlier today, individuals entered one of our trucks and took away several of our employees. We do not know what prompted this. We were not told beforehand, and we have not been told since. We understand it may be difficult to watch, but we're sharing a video of it. We have heard from the employees. They've been told they're being detained by ICE. We don't know if the men you see in the video work for ICE or for someone else. You'll see they have no uniforms, do not show any badge or ID, and did not leave any identifying information or paperwork. If not for our security cameras, we would not have even known this happened. We've contacted legal aid organizations to help the employees, and we're gathering any information we have to share with their families. Our company complies with federal and local immigration laws, and we know everyone is dealing with situations like this. We know our community is scared. As the country navigates a new normal, we're here to support the community and to support our workforce and people too. So no uniforms, no badges or identification, no paperwork, but the employees are being told they're being held by ICE. In other words, they didn't know who these guys were and if they were authorized to conduct raids in the name of Trump's mass deportations. They did run one of the employees back and forth inside the truck though, looking for something that they never seemed to have found. After that video caught some attention, Mayor Paul Young announced in a social media post that the raid was indeed carried out by federal agents. We understand the shockwaves that are reverberating through our community right now, following the release of the Taco en Ganas video. Although these matters don't fall under our jurisdiction, we reached out to federal authorities out of concern. Homeland Security investigations confirmed that this action was carried out by federal agents. So while they carried out Tom Homan's directives to run into workplaces and arrest people, there isn't much talk about the pretty dangerous way that they didn't appear to show any ID while dressed like a bunch of guys ready to rob the place.
The deportations are underway. Over the weekend, we saw them in cities like Chicago, a city Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, has repeatedly taunted, calling Chicago ground zero for mass deportations. In all, ICE made 956 arrests on Sunday in Chicago and around the country, quote, the largest single-day number to date by the Trump administration, and at least 2,681 arrests since his inauguration last Monday. And one thing we don't have to wonder about is how it feels if you are undocumented in America right now, or even if you worry that you could be mistaken for being undocumented because of the color of your skin or your name. This is a headline out of Chicago. Quote, we are terrified. The New York Times spoke with one man, a man who was born in this country, who said this, quote, I can tell you that even for those of us who are citizens or have a green card, there's fear. I'm scared myself, not that I'll be deported because I was born here, but I'm scared that I may get scooped up in a mass arrest.
So, two things. Notice all the ICE agents in that video, dressed in clothes and gear that clearly identifies who they are. And number two, the account from one man that's a citizen, but is concerned about being mistakenly arrested because of the brazen manner some of these raids are being carried out. Supporters of this process may think, oh, who cares? They're freaking illegals. But in a country full of guns and quick triggers, if they run up on a citizen that sees a gang of guys in masks and hoodies telling them what to do, the results could be deadly.
ICE officials have been directed by Trump officials to aggressively ramp up the number of people they arrest, from a few hundred per day to at least 1,200 to 1,500, because the president has been disappointed with the results of his mass deportation campaign so far. That's according to 4 people with knowledge of the briefings. Senior ICE officials were told that each of the agency's field offices should make 75 arrests per day, and managers will be held accountable for missing those targets. So, quotas do make it more likely that the thing that people who are here legally, who spoke in that reporting I read from, could get swept up. If you're trying to hit a target in any quota, in law enforcement, speeding, anything, you can make mistakes.
In many respects, this is a production. Dr. Phil was out last night live with Tom Homan, who, when the borders are for President Trump, when he was confronted by our colleague Gabe Gutierrez about whether or not there are actually quotas, he denied that there were.
So we've got apparent ICE agents in hoodies and masks with pressure from superiors to ramp up their efforts to arrest as many people as possible so that this production of mass deportation can be shown to MAGA supporters. No worries about effective guidelines to carry out these duties in a legal and safe way. There's only a few ways that this approach could get more dangerous, breeding illegal and violent behavior.
Missouri has a Senate bill, 72, that is going through the proper channels right now, and hopefully will be signed into law. And then hopefully every state in the nation, well, every state with a brain anyway, in the nation will adopt some sort of bill passed into law in their state that represents or compares to this Senate Bill 72 in Missouri, which says it makes it a criminal felony of criminal trespassing to knowingly be an illegal alien in that state. And they're going to set up online portals and tip hotlines for anybody in the state to be able to report an illegal alien in their town, in their community. Now, that illegal alien will then be apprehended by a law enforcement officer or a trained, licensed bounty hunter.
So you have a federal agency with people willing to work in street clothes while confronting and arresting people that they're not sure are undocumented or not. Then you have states like Missouri pushing bills that would encourage citizens with pure visual bias on their minds to report anyone they think is here unlawfully, so that agents and or bounty hunters can track them down. And it doesn't even stop there.
If that person is apprehended and is actually an illegal alien, the person who reported them, who gave the tip via an online hotline or portal, will receive $1,000 for their efforts and contribution in apprehending this illegal alien. The Department of Public Safety in that state will also put together a program that trains regular, everyday, average U.S. citizens in the Show Me State of Missouri on becoming a bounty hunter. They will put them through the program and they will license them, which then gives them the opportunity and the ability to legally go and apprehend these illegals. It's basically like deputizing the public. I wonder who said that 2 years ago. But you'll also basically have a target on you from everyday citizens becoming legal bounty hunters and apprehending you. And the people that gave the tip or contributed to that apprehension via an online portal or a hotline, a tip line, they'll receive $1,000. So win, win, win. The only one who doesn't win is the illegal alien that is trying to game the system and be here illegally. And just so you know, we're coming for you.
Beyond the normal bias that's been beaten into these folks' minds, they're incentivizing their random calls for confrontation with a $1,000 reward if the people that they're targeting, in fact, are here undocumented. No mention of the potential carnage if and when fellow citizens are harassed and chased around based off of a tip. But the icing on this brainless cake that they're baking is the deputization of these people that can't wait to go hunting for whoever they think isn't illegal, so that the streets can be teeming with everyday citizens putting targets on anyone's back. They don't care that they're encouraging more vigilante behavior from unstable MAGA guys that don't care to get deputized in their ragtag system, or they think that they're going to be heroes without the bullshit certification to take to the streets. So, since the goal is obviously to be aggressive, thoughtless, confrontational, and violent, they're going to get exactly what they want.
Explain to me here right off the top what exactly you're trying to do there.
Yeah, so we're just trying to assist at the local and state level with the Trump administration's priority for deporting criminals who happen to be here illegally. And so ICE only has so many people, so more is more and more is better. And if we can put people on the ground at a local level to help out and assist them, we should do that. And so I think the bill that I suggested at least sparked a conversation that is ongoing in Jackson, Mississippi, and hopefully will lead to us assisting the federal government in doing something historic.
You say assisting the federal government, but if the federal government thought this would be successful, they would try to do it too, right? But they're not.
Yeah, so, we're really trying to piggyback off of Donald Trump's priorities. He ran on this in 2016 successfully. He went back to well in 2024 and essentially put illegal immigration on the ballot. And so the popular vote made it very clear that the sentiment in the United States is that we need to deal with this issue. And so we're trying to do it at a local level here in Hernando, Mississippi.